so dearly love what I do. It was a moment. It was a real moment. I never thought that that would even ever happen.
Hi, I'm Jody Williams with BMI, and we are here to talk with my good friend Bob DiPiero, who is our newest BMI Icon. And you're so deserving of it too, and we're very proud of you and proud of our long association with you, and glad that we could make it together to this night.
Well, it's been unbelievable. I mean, BMI has been my partner and my family from day one of my professional writer's career, you know, and guys like you and the whole list of just supportive, wonderful people, and I can't name them all.
Yeah.
It's just been such support that I can't say enough about. You know, this business, you don't do this, you do this.
Right.
And BMI has always been like right there.
Oh, that's great.
And it's been a real bedrock for me.
Yeah. It wasn't too long, or was it, that American Made happened? Tell me about that #1 record.
Well, the first thing that happened in about less than 2 years from being there is I got my first song recorded, which was by this brand new artist from Oklahoma. Her name was Reba McEntire. And it's a song I had written by myself called I Can See Forever in Your Eyes. And I had proceeded to have my first top 20 record. And that was so great. And then about a year later, my co-writer Pat McManus and I wrote this song, American Made. And it was a song that the chorus just kind of came out of the air. It was done. And there were several versions of the verses. You know, we just
how did that all come about?
Oh, it was just weird, man. I had one of my great mentors, the reason I'm here, is a guy named Johnny McCrae. He took me under his wing for whatever reason. So we brought the song down to Johnny McCrae. And said, what do you think of this? We played it for him. He goes, that's a hit chorus, but those verses suck. And I'm going to tell you why they suck. And he proceeded to tell us why they sucked. And we said, okay, well, you know more than we do. So we went back up and just tried to write something that I'd never heard before. So it just kept digging for it until we got those verses, very simple. And we did a demo at Combine, had a little studio downstairs, and Bob Beckham played it for Ron Chancey, who was producing the Oak Ridge Boys at the time. And they said, we got this, you got Oak Ridge Boys cut. And I said, oh, I know the Oak Ridge Boys. All right, that's great. And he goes, no, you don't understand, son. This is going to change everything for you. Well, good, because I don't have anything, so everything would be great. You know? And it just proceeded to blow up.
I think that's when the music community discovered Bob DiPiero.
I think so.
I know that I was aware of you before that, but everybody sort of had their eyes on you and that song because it became a big commercial for a couple of different products.
Yes, which I never thought that would even ever happen.
Yeah.
You know, it just was, hey man, I'm making $75 a week being a songwriter. I'm just trying to matter.
Yeah.
You know, and American Made was me just trying to do my best work on that day, you know, and all of a sudden, yeah, it just kind of blew up.
You know, when you're a professional writer in Nashville, you have a minimum delivery commitment to your publisher. You have to turn in enough songs. That was never a problem with you. But part of being a professional songwriter is it's some parts inspiration and some parts perspiration. And not every morning when you wake up you feel like wanting to write, but you make a commitment to meet somebody and make some coffee and see what falls out of the sky. Can you talk a little bit about how you write, like how you approach your job as a songwriter?
Sure. And I preface all of what I'm going to say by saying that this is what works for me.
Right.
So with that being said, this is what I do. I was born in a blue-collar town, steel town, Youngstown, Ohio. Everybody got up in the morning, put their pants on, and went to work. Working and working hard wasn't a foreign idea to me. What makes it so magic is that I so dearly love what I do. I mean, I love it as much now as I did then. You know, it's just a joyous opportunity, you know, to show up and see if you can catch lightning in a bottle that day. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get close, and sometimes you do, you know. And so I show up, you know, and I've shown up enough times when I was laying in bed going, oh, I can't do this today. I'm canceling. I'm not showing up. And I turn over, I'm going, oh, I'm showing up. I'm getting, you know, because you don't know. You never know. That day is the day. And I've had enough experiences doing that where actually something good comes out of the day I almost bagged. That it's like, well, this is what I do. I'm a songwriter. I need to write songs.
Right. Was there ever sort of a defining moment in your songwriting career, either inspired by somebody else, one of your mentor songwriters that you worked with or whatever, that really gave you the impetus to keep moving forward or not?
There was this moment in time where I had already been signed to Combine Music. I was a brand new young writer there. And I was just writing and writing and writing and writing. So they had a song committee there where the new young writers would present their songs, and the song committee would decide whether it's worth money to demo these songs.
Right.
So I wrote like, I can't even remember, 15, 20 songs, and I turned them in. And it was a Friday, and I remember I felt like a kid waiting for his report card. You know, which ones they're going to like, and they didn't like any of them. And that was a moment in my life where I realized that, oh, really? That's what you think? Well, watch this. I just proceeded to turn around and write more songs. You know, it was just like I do my best work sometimes when I have that you attitude.
Right. Yeah,
you know?
I understand.
Watch this. You didn't like that? Okay.
Yeah.
How about this?
Yeah.
How about this? What about this?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But during that period of time of being a punk, or being a smart ass, I was really focusing on being a really great writer.
Yeah. Are there a couple of songs during the course of your career that we would know, or maybe that we don't know, that are sort of the most special to you?
Yeah, there are. I mean, you mentioned American Made, which is just like, it's my ticket to the ball game, you know. But yeah, there are special songs I wrote that are not necessarily the biggest songs. There's a song I wrote that followed American Made, that this female artist by the name of Charlie McClain recorded. It was called Sentimental Old You.
Oh, yeah.
Got to number 3, I think. That song was really about my mom.
Huh.
You know, and about how she was, you know.
Cool.
You're the kind of dreamer that dreams big enough for two. And whatever you do, don't change. Sentimental Old You. And that was her.
Yeah.
You know, so that had a lot of personal meaning for me.
Yeah.
It still does. And then there was a song that Vince Gill and I wrote, and it's called Worlds Apart. Vince won a Grammy for vocal event. It became a #1 song. But when we wrote that song, Vince and I had become friends previous to it, and we were both going through a really dark period of our lives, divorces. And this song came up. And I remember we'd written a song in the morning, and it was done. And it was great, done, yay. First time I wrote with Vince, I got a song. We went to lunch, we came back, and he was just sitting there. I'm going, hey man, well, I got this idea called Worlds Apart. What do you think about that? And it's one of those songs that just kind of came out of the air and appeared. And it was just about how hard it is when people are distanced because of love, because of hate, because of loneliness. And that was a really personal song for me. I think it was for Vince too.
Wow, that's great.
It was a moment. It was a real moment that I can still feel now. And
that's great.
It was one of those things, man.
That's one of my favorite songs of yours.
Well,
and if you weren't going to mention it, I was going to mention it. So I'm glad you mentioned it. I love that song. It's got one of the most beautiful melodies, and the chord changes, and just everything about it is A+. Well, Bob, we love you. We're so happy to be able to honor you, and thank you for all these years with BMI. We love you, and let's do a lot more.
Jody, thank you, and it means the world to me, and your friendship means the world to me too.
Thank you. You too.